Here's a conversation reflecting on Chapter 3, the self-help loop.
So today we're diving into something that feels like, well, a real paradox. We're looking at material from Chapter 3 of The Lens That Changes Everything, and the core idea is that the answer isn't more effort, it's a new way of seeing.
Exactly.
Wow.
And if you've ever had that moment of thinking something has to change, you've probably walked right into what this chapter calls the self-help loop.
The self-help loop.
Yeah, I mean, the whole industry, it didn't pop up because people are lazy. It's there because people are genuinely hurting.
Right.
And the only story our culture gives us for that pain is, well, if I'm hurting, I must be doing something wrong.
And that's where the pressure really kicks in, isn't it? The source material argues that self-improvement has become like a moral duty.
A moral obligation, yes.
The culture has kind of installed this identity in us that you are a project. And if you rest, that's laziness. If you question the game itself, that's failure.
And so all the productivity apps, the coaching, the 5 a.m. club, they aren't actually creating that pressure. They're just monetizing a pressure that's already there.
So that pressure is what fuels this loop.
It's the engine.
Yeah.
And it's a really specific, an 8-step cycle that always ends with you blaming yourself.
Okay, walk us through it.
It starts simply. Step 1, you feel some kind of pain or dissatisfaction. And then step 2, you immediately decide it's a personal flaw, a deficiency.
So you look for a solution, a new book, a new routine.
You apply effort, discipline, and then you get to step 5. You feel a temporary bit of relief, a rush of motivation.
Okay, hold on, because that's the part that gets everyone, right? That temporary win. It feels like proof that the system is working.
It feels like it, but that's the most insidious part of the trap.
Why?
Because the deeper problem, the structural one, it's still there, untouched. So a month later, maybe a year, the pain comes back.
And because you had that little victory before.
Exactly. The only conclusion you can draw is, I failed. I didn't try hard enough. You blame yourself, and the whole expensive, exhausting cycle just starts all over again.
So the loop never actually ends because it's focused on the wrong thing. It's trying to change outputs, habits, thoughts, whatever, without ever asking where they came from.
Right. It never asks what story taught you what success is supposed to feel like in the first place.
It's like trying to fix a blurry photo by polishing the mirror it's reflected in instead of, cleaning the actual camera lens.
That's a perfect analogy. And this leads to this sort of quiet exhaustion. It's not burnout from working hard. It's the fatigue of constant self-monitoring.
Always tracking, always adjusting.
Always asking, am I growing? Am I falling behind? And, the most dangerous moment is when you actually succeed for a bit. You hit the goal, and you still feel empty.
Oh, that's brutal.
Because then the question becomes, what is so broken in me that even this didn't fix it?
And that moment is the whole pivot, right? That's what the source material is pointing to. Being stuck isn't a failure of will, it's a failure of framing.
Which leads to the big question for anyone listening. What if the problem isn't personal? What if that resistance you feel, that procrastination, what if it isn't laziness?
What if the pain is just information?
Yes. Information trying to tell you something important.
So the way out isn't another life hack. It's about learning to see upstream, to find where the change really begins, which is in the system that shaped you.
So let's leave with this thought. If the problem really isn't you, and that pain you feel is just information, what is it informing you about the story you're standing in right now? Answering that. Well, that's the first real step.
Thanks for listening. Before moving on, take a pause and read the next chapter. The conversation for that chapter will be waiting here when you're ready.